All right, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Something Super Podcast. I'm Steve.
Mark.
And I'm Jay.
And this week we are going to cover one of the most anticipated shows from the Marvel lineup, Loki. I know I'm excited for this because it dives into time travel, which is always exciting because everyone has their own take on it. And Tom Hiddleston is a phenomenal actor. So, Jay, what are your thoughts so far? I know we watched both the trailers just now. What do you got for me?
I'm super excited about this show. From the fact that they're actually bringing Tom Hiddleston back as Loki to I feel like Owen Wilson's going to be a funny supporting character on the show just in general. And just watching the trailers, I saw some things that definitely I could get behind. Like the one we were watching, it looks like there's a scene where Loki's sitting with Black Widow, which it's really hard to tell because obviously if you're watching it, his back is facing you and so is the female he's sitting next to. But she got the short red hair. The outfit looks like Black Widow's. So maybe they found a way to bring her back so she can make a nice cameo in the show. That would be great.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think regardless of how they do it, if that is the case, Marvel has a million and one ways that they could justify Natasha being alive, even if it's just for that scene, or maybe it's not alive. Maybe it's like a way station. I know the part you're talking about. There's like the water out, in front of them.
It looks like where you get the Mind Stone.
Soul Stone, Boromir.
Soul Stone. Sorry, wrong one.
But yeah, no, I agree. And again, that's where she died. So like maybe that's where she is currently. Maybe he's going there to visit her, to question her about stuff. Again, there's a million different things. Maybe because he took the Tesseract, now times have changed. I don't know. But I definitely agree with you. She had that like sleek black suit on, the short red hair. It very well could have been Black Widow, and that would be awesome.
I'm curious, like, where this Loki's mindset is at, because the time period they left in Endgame, he was still kind of like wanting to rule Earth. Like, he still wants to rule Asgard. You see a clip of him sitting on what looks like Asgard's throne, but it looks a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with Jay. Like, I really think that Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, they're going to have a really good comedic banter. And I feel like this is actually going to be like a really funny show, along with like just action packed.
Sure, I love that. Owen Wilson's hilarious in like 99% of the things he's ever been in. I've loved him. He's going to play well into this. Tom Hiddleston's funny, but he has that serious side to him. Like, he's very serious funny.
I think Owen Wilson will be one of those actors that can actually like play well with Tom Hiddleston's sense of humor, because it's not easy to do.
No. And I think very much, I've read a lot about the other movies and how Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston played off of each other. I feel like it's going to be very similar to that. But again, Owen Wilson is a, comedian by trade. So like that is his genre right there. So like he's going to come out hard. And I feel like a lot of the stuff very similar to the Thor Loki setup. It's going to be ad-libbed. They're just swinging for the fences and hoping it's funny, and that they're going to see what sticks to the wall, and it's going to be awesome.
There is one thing I hope they bring back.
Shoot.
And It would be hilarious to see with Loki and Owen Wilson's character, whoever it is, or like whatever his name is, would be get help.
Yeah, well, and that's again one of the scenes that they ad-libbed and they just kind of like went with.
Yeah, so, I think it would be hilarious if they do like a get help again, just like but this time like Loki's holding like Owen Wilson.
I could see it.
That would be funny to me. Or the other way around, Owen Wilson holding Loki would be pretty funny too.
I think Mark, you made a pretty good point when we were talking prior to the episode that this is as Owen Wilson said, a Loki variant. So this may not be the timeline Loki that we are used to. He's
right.
different.
So I'm wondering, he may have different. I'm wondering like where his mindset is. He like because at this point in the MCU, he had different intentions. He had different. Loki had a great growth from the first Thor to Endgame. or to Infinity War when he dies. So where in that timeline is this Loki's thought process? Is this still the I'm jealous of Thor and I want to be the leader of Asgard when I'm a pawn for Thanos wanting to take over Earth for myself? Or is this going to be a, oh shit, maybe they show himself in other timelines and how it ends up happening, like what ends up happening, and maybe he turns earlier. I'm curious to see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, this, if they're going based on like the Infinity War Endgame sequences, this is immediately after the Battle of New York, is when he took the Tesseract, he disappeared, and he went wherever that shit took him, and it ended up to like the time police with Owen Wilson. Or at least that's how they made it seem. It very well could have been him jumping back and forth, doing whatever for any extended period of time before he got there, because again, they exist outside of time.
Well, I know in the first trailer, you see him kind of like crash land on like a desert planet.
Yeah.
So I think that's where he ends up getting caught by the timekeepers. But one thing that I actually found kind of interesting, I don't know if you guys caught on to it too, but when he's kind of like standing in line in the trailer, he has this device, like metal device around his neck with like one red light. And it looks similar to the power dampeners that they use in Deadpool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if
it makes
it's
sense.
the same device.
And that would be canon. So I would believe so, because Loki is still magical. I like the fact that in the trailer he did use his magic and it was green, and this dives immediately back into our previous conversation about the colors of the magic from WandaVision, and like how each person's magical colors align with an Infinity Stone, et cetera, and Loki's is green, and he's going through time like the Time Stone, shit like that. Like, it's, again, crazy theory time, but yeah.
One thing I did like was in the trailer, it seems like it's a callback to Infinity War. So when he's sitting there talking with Owen Wilson, and he's like, I'm 10, like you hear him say, like, I'm 10 steps ahead of you or something like that. And they drop him through the floor to where he's sitting at like the clerk's desk. It kind of reminded me of the Infinity War when Ragnarok, when Doctor Strange puts him through the everlasting fall.
I was falling for an hour.
That was so good. That was funny.
But no, I mean, just the humor that's in it too. Like, can you please sign here to show that this is everything you've ever said? This is absurd. And he prints like a brand new page. You're going to need to sign this one too.
Although, in all fairness, for as much as Loki talks, that was a small book.
Especially for how old he is.
Yeah. So maybe they just use like really small font, and it's like from top to bottom of the entire page is covered. I don't know.
Yeah. That's not every one sentence per page. No way.
Oh, no, it can't be. No, just say like maybe they had to like really reduce those margins there. But
every page is probably a full conversation he's had. Just going off of that last part where like he's like, this is absurd, and he prints just that one line. So I'm wondering if it's like each of those pages is an entire conversation he's had.
Probably.
But I'm just curious because like you can hear it in now. Obviously, they cut trailers to edit them to give you certain perceptions and things like that. But like you can hear in his like Loki's tone that he is still scheming. So like
he's always scheming.
Right, but I'm saying like where I feel like the later Loki, the one that died, honestly probably would have tried to help at this point. I feel like this one's going to be kind of reluctant at first to try to help, and he's going to keep trying to get out of it.
Sure.
And then they're basically, I think they're just going to beat him pretty much in his submission.
I'm okay with that. I think it'd be hilarious. Again, back to the humor aspect of it. Is like, do I get a weapon? No. Well, why not? Because you've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times. Well, I won't do it again. Like, and you're absolutely right. I think his intention there is, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Like, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to kill everybody here. And again, if he has the power dampener, He can't summon a blade or, his scepter. He can't make anything appear. So, ta-da.
And that was just something I caught, and I was just kind of like just triggered because I just watched Deadpool again and Deadpool 2 the other night. I was like, wait a second. I was like, that looks really familiar. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one of those Darkhold situations where it's like the same thing, but it might look slightly different. Yeah, whatever they're trying to pull. I mean, Marvel's straight killing it right now. So everything
this could be a series. This could be a series where you drop a lot of cameos.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll see who they decide to rope into this. I'm excited. Jay, if you're right and it is Black Widow, that would be awesome. Especially because her movie's coming out soon too. I got pushed back,
that's what I was thinking. Would have been a really good idea to have her come, just make a quick cameo, and then it leads to the hype of the movie coming up, which will be, I think, 2 months after that. I think it's August. It comes out, right?
June.
It comes out in June?
June or July?
Oh, I thought it was August.
No, it's not that far back.
Loki drops June 11th.
Yeah, I know that.
So, yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad that Black Widow got pushed back. It is going to go straight to streaming devices as well as in theater. So it gives the people that don't want to go to the theater an opportunity to watch it, which is kind of cool. But, whatever. We'll figure it out. I'll gladly have you guys over. We'll have a watch party. It'll be a good time.
Hell yeah.
Bring all the foods.
Ooh.
But
I'll bring Imperial.
Deal, Sandy. But
I know you love that.
I do. I like the fact that in the one scene in the trailer, Loki looks like he's running for a political office. He has the Vote Loki pin on. So, like, again, they're taking so many sides, and again, it can't be a 6-episode series like Falcon and Winter Soldier. It has to be a longer series. But everything so far is awesome. I've not seen a bad part of the trailer yet. I'm hoping it's not all the good stuff. It usually isn't with Marvel. Maybe it's some misdirection. I'm cool with that too. I'm just super excited to see where they take this.
Steve, I think you're going to be unhappy. I think it is going to be a 6-episode season.
Son of a bitch.
I was just looking on IMDb because I usually tell you about how long seasons will be.
It better be.
And it's only showing 6 episodes.
Better be hour-long episodes then. I need some solid time with like all of these shows coming out. And I'm cool with them releasing weekly. Like whatever, don't let me binge it because I'll binge it in one day. And I'll be
I would do the same.
But I will absolutely appreciate them doing hour-long episodes. That would be more than perfect. Because 6 hours is a lot of time. Like, break it down however you want, but like 6 hours is 6 hours. Yeah.
No, I feel like this one's going to be, the one thing I like is that each show has had a different tone. Like you had WandaVision, which was very like sitcom-y, and then it kind of went a little bit action. You have Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is like just straight action now, nonstop. And then you have this, which seems like it's going to be actiony, but it feels like I said, it's going to have that comedic undertone.
Yep.
So I feel like this show is going to be one that doesn't really take itself seriously because I feel like Loki doesn't take himself seriously.
Correct.
Well, he's the god of mischief.
Yep.
I could see this show being like one of those ones where you got to pay attention to the small details because at the very end, something will happen and you'll be like, fuck. How did I not see this coming?
When we, so I have some mini Easter eggs that I've seen in the trailers and stuff. And when we do our first episode breakdown, I'm going to dive into them. Okay. I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff. Again, like you said, it's going to be one of those WandaVision shows where like, if you don't know, you don't know. And when you do finally see it, you're like, oh shit, that's cool. So I'm definitely ready. Marvel's got a ton of shit coming out this year and next year for the next however many years. I'm ready. Buckle up. Get your shit together.
Now, I'm trying to think. Is there any other shows slated to come out soon? Or is it just movies from here on? I know What If.
Yeah, I mean,
that comes out in June too, right?
Does it?
Yeah, I think so. pretty sure What If comes out in June. I'll double check real quick, but
Yeah, so I'm gonna look it up real quick. Marvel Cinematic Movie TV series.
Because I mean, this could lead into the What If series. Because I mean, if he's jumping to alternate timelines,
So Loki's June 11th. What If is mid? It says mid 2021.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's 11 episodes.
Yeah, well, I mean,
but it's also animated.
yeah, it's animated series. That's fine with me.
That's easier to do.
Miss Marvel and Hawkeye are both late 2021. Moon Knight and She-Hulk are 2022. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Specials late 2022, and the rest of it's all to be announced, which I'm okay with. Because again, I need time to appreciate the show. Like, don't get me wrong, Falcon and Winter Soldier, like giving me a week between WandaVision and that was cool. Let me process a little bit. Let us get our shit together before we were ready to watch a new show.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have almost a month in between Loki and the Falcon Winter Soldier.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
If not
honestly.
almost 2.
Yeah. Well, now they got 3 weeks left, so after this week. So
Okay, and then we'll have all of May and then like a week or 2 in June.
yeah. So
I'm cool with it though. Like you said, it gives us time to kind of digest what we've gotten so far before jumping right into something that looks like it could be pretty complex with time travel and all that.
oh yeah, and that's again, like I said, it's one of those things where we sort of saw it in Endgame with the Hulk, and like they explained how each thing that happens in the world is going to create a different branch. And if you don't return to that exact moment, the branch changes. So like this is going to be the explanation of how that changed things. And like I think it's cool that Loki is going to be doing the right thing for the
Wrong
time
reasons.
hero. Like, but yeah, the
For
right
the
right
Loki
thing for the
reasons.
wrong reasons. Like he's going to be doing. He's got his own agenda, like you said. So I'm ready for that. I love all the Marvel stuff that's coming out. They're hitting it straight out of the park, batting 1,000. Let's go.
The one thing so far that I really did like from the comic, or not the comic, I'm sorry, from the trailer was that pretty much they're hinting at Loki was DB Cooper.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Like he jumps out of the plane and then gets like sniped by the Bifrost.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
But I mean,
I wonder how they're going to bring Asgard into this, because the Bifrost was Heimdall's thing.
right.
So
Now, only thing I can think of is in the second trailer, you see him sitting on the throne. So I'm wondering if somehow he gets the throne in Asgard, and then that DB Cooper scene is afterward. So he would be in charge of whoever controls.
yeah, I'm curious about that too. Also, back to my political thing, maybe he's campaigning to be the new ruler of Asgard.
That could be possible.
I think it'd be funny. Or like no one even cares because like obviously the king is already predestined to be the king of Asgard, and it's supposed to be Thor, but he is campaigning against Thor to get people to not want Thor to be the king. Like I think that would be hilarious.
That would be hysterical.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd appreciate that.
Just turns into a snake.
Oh yeah. He was a snake and they stabbed me.
He said, I'm your brother, and he stabbed me. But no, I'm super excited to see where this show goes.
Oh, absolutely. This is going to be amazing. And again, it's going to be a nice break from the punching, kicking. And that's what WandaVision was. We saw a ton of action come out of Endgame. WandaVision was the aftermath of that. It was relaxed. It was kind of cool. Now we get the punchy, kicky again. And now we're going to, break it down into a comedic trailer. Which, again, I'm okay with. So, as far as Loki goes, that's really all I've got. They've dropped those 2 trailers, and I guess we'll cover more as it releases, but we got till June.
Yeah, there'll probably be like one more.
Yeah, we got till June. We got some time. We still got Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're going to cover, break that all down, do the recap for that, the final episode recap. Then we got a million other things. Christ, Mortal Kombat's coming out. That'll be cool. We'll cover that once that comes out. We can give that a watch. Do a little watch party.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
I'm
I'm
down.
Or
I know
1
you guys
week,
are down.
maybe from when this episode drops.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's all I got for today.
Yeah, no, me too.
Jay?
I'm good.
All right. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for listening in. Please let us know what you think. Give us a like, give us a follow at Something Super Podcast on both Facebook and Instagram. Anchor, thank you for hosting us as always. Check us out on all of your major streaming apps. You can go to Google, Something Super Podcast. Will pop up. Absolutely. Something Super Podcast at gmail.com for any questions, comments, concerns. And if you're an Apple Podcast listener, please leave us a review. If you love us, 5 stars. If not, don't leave a review, I guess. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week.